Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 636. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, and we're going to talk some football here. We're in the middle of what do they call it? Tampering week prior to the start of free agency. And we kind of missed the pre-tampering week a little bit because that was obviously happening because, oh my God, all hell broke loose. And within 20 minutes of the opening of tampering week, there seemed to have been, it was pretty obvious that the Edmonton Elks and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were tampering prior to the tampering. And because they were signing people right away. Okay. Well, they weren't signing them. They were announcing commitments and stuff like this. And really, it wasn't them announcing it. It was media personnel who were obviously talking to agents and everything else because the team wouldn't come out and say that they were breaking the rules. Would they? Nah, I don't think so. Hey, look, Charles is coming in. So that's where we are. Or kind of do this. We'll announce, introduce our panel right now. We have Charles really quickly just coming in here in the background. He looks like he's in a Mexican cantina. Buddy, what you doing?
I am here in Puerto Vallarta right now, just on the beach, and I just thought I'd use the computer down in the lobby. It had a web camera, so we'll just thought I would pop in. And actually, that's just a fake background. I'm in my office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people don't wear hoodies in Mexico.
No, Puerto Vallarta hoodie is a bad idea. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't know.
Okay. Apparently, Scott and Will are in the same room, so.
Yeah, they are.
Really? I never even realized that. We're sitting next to each other, so.
Yeah, there you go. Cuddle up, big guys.
We know how much Willie loves Regina.
Yeah. Regina, vagina. Whoa. Anything that sounds like that. William McDonald, how are you, sir? Welcome to the show.
I am grandiose. This weekend, the last official football game of the year is on, and I probably will watch it. And then I'm not looking forward to.
Last football game of the year?
Yes.
Aren't we just starting the year?
No, last football game of the year, and I'm not looking forward to after that because there'll be no football.
Well,
don't worry, the UFL is coming.
We're
soon.
February.
Since November.
Football. There's lots of football in this year.
No, there's not. Not last football game of this season. Sorry, maybe that's what I should say.
Oh, you mean the American season? Yeah. Well, doesn't the UFL start soon too?
I don't know.
End of March.
End of March. So,
and are they going to start? Will they happen?
They got a schedule out and everything, so I'm guessing they will.
Cool. Maybe I'll watch football.
We'll see what happens.
It's not very often where they put high school football on TV. So.
No, but if they have to, they have to, right?
Yep.
Who knows if they survive another entire year or not? That's probably a question up in the air.
Yep.
But who knows? We'll wait and see.
I was having challenges with a sock. Sorry, guys. Okay. Michael Dennis, how are you?
I'm doing really good, and I can totally say I've never seen a UFL football game. So I don't know what I'm missing.
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen one.
I'm not convinced you're missing much.
No. So I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion, and it's going to be a fun evening.
So you're going to watch the football NFL game, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Cheering for the Seahawks. So what are you going to do at halftime? Are you going to watch Bad Bunny, or are you going to jump over to the other channel and watch Kid Rock?
I'll turn off the TV and watch something else.
Yeah, you don't want to watch Kid Rock on the Charlie Kirk special?
I won't watch either one.
Oh, geez. Okay. Not much of a redneck there, are you?
I'm a big Bad Bunny fan, by the way. So.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I don't even know what that is. On my playlist at the gym.
I don't even know who he is.
No. You don't want to, Michael. You don't
I know who he is. I just don't know many of his songs. I've heard of him, but I never really listen to his songs.
You want me
Okay.
to watch a halftime special, get Shania Twain on there. That's
Oh
good.
my God. Are you starting with these old washed up chicks again? For fuck's sake. Oh.
Michael,
Anyways.
the CFL, the Grey Cup has had Shania Twain twice.
Oh, they could have her 3 times. I'd love it.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
now moving on.
You might need some
put in your
privacy, Mike.
request, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and last on the show here is Scott Morledge. How are you doing, Scott?
I'm doing great.
Regina,
I do
Saskatchewan.
not want Shania Twain to perform anything for that matter.
Oh.
It's been a good week. Been some interesting stuff in the football world of CFL, of course, and it's going to be an interesting chat tonight.
Well, possibly. We'll see what happens. We've got an itinerary here that he's gone on. And I noticed that he's changed it because he had some laughable items on it. And CJ called him on it last night. So he went and modified it and sent it out differently. He did Michael is doing the agenda right now. We'll see what happens. He did the tag team thing with Charles and took over, jumped into the ropes of the UFC and WWE or whatever the hell it is. And he did a thing and he asked AI to do CFL power rankings. And you know who?
Oh,
You know
good
who was
grief.
at the
Good
top?
grief.
He had
Toronto.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers,
Oh.
the Edmonton Elks, the Ottawa Red Blacks, then the BC Lions. Montreal was in 8th place. Saskatchewan was 6th, I think.
Okay.
And I said, you have to change this because everybody in the panel won't be able to stop laughing and we won't be able to do a show.
I did not realize that you had to input more data into AI to get the proper response that you got.
You have to give it the criteria. I don't understand what
do.
criteria you gave them because it made no sense.
I said
What possible fucking world would Edmonton Elks be number 2 in the power rankings?
I
Are
said
we sure that Mike didn't do this himself?
Yeah.
I'm positive.
Well, and blame it on AI?
Right.
If he did it himself, why would he put him in 2nd?
Good
To
point.
make it look good.
My criteria was based on the free agent signings. Based on the free agent signings, who do you believe what is the power ranking of the CFL? And it came up with number 1, Winnipeg, number 2, the Elks, and I went, oh boy.
The 2 ones that got caught tampering.
Yeah.
No, we did not. We don't tamper in Edmonton.
Oh, bullshit.
Every
the Tamper
team has
King.
done it. How are they signing like 4 players in the first hour? It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You get Chris Morris working with one agent, you had Ed Hervey working with another, and then you had Mark Killenworth working with another.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not reality, and you know it.
No.
Okay,
Of course
so
I know
let's
it's not reality. Everybody tampers. Everybody.
So yeah, just like everybody goes over the salary cap, right?
I am pretty sure, just so you know, I am pretty sure these conversations started the day after the Grey Cup.
You think?
In November.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So actually, I've thought about that. So let's deal with this tampering issue because this tampering window to me is fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. So free agency is supposed to start February 10th, and no contracts can be registered until then. Okay. So what we did was we opened up a 1-week tampering window. Okay. And that's supposed to have started on Monday, which 1 week, I think it's actually 9 days or something. But and we know that the teams were talking before that. So why don't we just say you can talk to anybody you want starting January 1st or whenever, right? Or right after the Grey Cup.
Because then they'll start signing guys in November. Okay?
Mid-season. Okay, so what you do is they have to put the contracts on the table by the 2nd of February. Okay. And then the teams have the right to talk to those guys for 1 week to try to re-sign them to stay in the town in which they were.
Okay.
And then the contracts, if they're still in play, because you can walk them back because they're not contracts until the 10th, and then you can walk them back and re-sign the guys if you want. So at least then they know that they've got X amount of dollars on the table, and does your team want to match that? If the team matches it, they get the player, as long as the guy wants to stay in that town.
Yeah.
The problem
is
this makes too much sense.
This is dumber than...
Charles just said it made sense, and you're just saying it's dumb.
It's dumber than the Canadian ratio. Okay? Free agent week is the 10th of February. It's the 4th of February, and everything's done.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
It is.
You don't need a whole week.
Yeah.
It's like what's the purpose?
If you haven't come to terms yet, start looking for training camp invites, because most of the teams have spent their money by now.
And from what we've seen, the stupid signings and the stupid money signings, no team is going to give their guys that much money because the other team offered them. They offered them that much money.
That's why they're free agents in the first place.
It's just dumb. The whole thing is dumb.
Free agency period, in my opinion, is stupid.
I don't see anything wrong with teams talking to players' agents after the Grey Cup, because you're really at that point you're a free agent, and then you can then officially have free agent week, which could be the first week in February where players sign contracts.
I wish they would ban 1-year contracts.
Well, the reason for that is...
I do too.
Yes.
Yeah, they should.
Yes.
But the reason they do that is also too, Mike, is because the team that has the player under contract is supposed to have an exclusive negotiating period after the season is over. Whether they do, I mean, like we're saying, they've been talking to these guys for weeks, maybe months. The free agency legal tampering period, it's nonsense, because I think that the window opened at 9:00 our time on Monday. I believe the first signing was announced at like 9:10 or something ridiculous
that
like
wasn't
that.
That late. I think it was sooner
Probably
than that.
9:04 or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't do a football contract term in 10 minutes. This had to have been talking before. It's just not reality.
Yeah. And you're most likely going to talk to multiple teams to try to see who's going to offer you more.
Get the best deal. And you don't do that in 10 minutes.
If you're only talking to one person and saying, yep, you knew before the window.
Yeah, you've already had that
conversation, yeah.
Well, don't you think that the proper thing for this league is that they ought to have teams have exclusivity with a player for at least a minimum of 4 years? That this 2 years and then free agency is kind of, it's bad for the league.
I wish they did what the NHL did and had a period of restricted free agency where you could sign with a team and the team can match.
Charles.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that would be good for the league.
And then if you're signing away a player and the team doesn't match, you got to give compensation like draft picks or players or something like that to do it.
No.
Yeah.
That's how they do it in the NHL. You sign a restricted free agent. If he's a top level guy, you got to give like 4 first-round draft picks as compensation for signing a restricted free agent.
Really?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the salary and stuff like that. Like if a top level player, like a top line guy, you sign him to a restricted free agent. I think there's been times where teams have had to give up 5 first-round picks, and it's all based salary-wise.
Because in the NBA, it's 4 years. Then you get your free agency period. In your next contract, the team has the right of first refusal. So whatever contract the free agent gets, the team that they came from can match it. If they choose not to, they get nothing. They lose it. They lose it.
So, did you guys notice that sometime this week, I don't know who it was, I didn't really pay attention, but some rookie who had just finished his first year renegotiated his contract for the second year into the $200,000 range and extended the contract by a year. There's the Chris Williams rule.
Yep.
Why do they have 1 year contracts?
We don't know.
I think the
Players want a
Players
1 year
Association, the
contract.
players want it because if
Teams
they have a
want
good
4 year
season, they can go for.
contracts.
Yeah, because if the player has one good year, he can go out and try and cash in on it after 1 year,
Yeah.
which I don't like because players can have one good year and then their play falls off the next year. So the problem with that is you're being based on 1 year.
So what is the maximum length of a contract that a player can get?
Everyone,
So they could sign for 5 years?
5,
They
10
wanted
years,
to,
it
sure.
doesn't matter.
You're never going to see it, but you could.
Yeah, no player's going to do that.
Nathan.
Right
Rourke,
now, what
right?
we have is we have
You
a
devalue
3 year
yourself.
contract, and half of your salary in the third year is guaranteed.
Yep.
Trying to make longer contracts, the players want to do that because the teams tend to just release them after 2 years or a year and a half or whatever it is, right? Before their mid-contract bonuses due. So anyhow, let's deal with this agenda here. You've got the first item up there is the salary cap. Salary cap this year is going to be $6,280,514. What are you going to do with $14? And who comes up with this fucking number? Okay.
Or $500.
Someone
Like,
might want to sign
seriously.
Brett Lowther.
What, why isn't it just 6.2 million or 6.3 million or something? Like, keep it a nice round
You
number.
could make the $514 a performance bonus. Okay, come on. If a
For a
field
kicker.
goal, if a field goal kicker goes 1 for 6 in a game, he gets the $500. There you
So
go.
Brent Lowther, he gets
I don't
that
even know if
dollar,
anyone would
okay?
sign Brett Lowther for $500.
He's Canadian.
I think the most significant thing is you got a 200 almost a $220,000 increase in the salary cap, which then you can go out and get a decent wide receiver, or in the case of Edmonton,
No
going
more
out.
you can't.
Why not?
Have you seen the money these receivers
Oh,
are
the way
getting?
that market's getting set.
220 is getting you a below average receiver right now.
Yeah, some of the top line guys are now signing for like 300 grand a year. Some of these top
So the salary
receivers.
cap historically goes up by $50,000 a year. So it went up $50,000, and then they added another $218,000 to it. But I'll guarantee you that 2 or 3 players used up all of that in these stupid signings, and now there's no additional money for anybody else.
Well, you had
How do you
had two
split
approaches.
$50,000 amongst 50 players? $1,000 each.
There you
Well,
go.
you had two
Ridiculous.
approaches. You had two approaches. Take a look at what Vancouver did. The BC Lions decided to give all their discretionary income to one player, primarily. And then you've got what Edmonton did, who spread it out amongst all the players on the team.
Right, and that's why we have Nathan Rourke as a quarterback, and you got Cody Fajardo.
Now, wait a minute. I just got something from what Mike just said. Mike, are you saying that Edmonton did it better than BC?
Yes.
Is that what this conversation is going to be about?
No.
That's what he's telling me. Yes.
Okay.
And I said that's why BC
You gotta be
Nathan Rourke.
you gotta be excited when your team manages money better than the other team. Like, who gives a fuck? Anyways,
I just don't think in this league that you can have Nathan Rourke at $810,000. Granted,
625.
of that counts against the cap.
Yeah.
No, that's 4.25, 450.
No, 625, isn't it?
No,
He's getting $810,000.
he's not getting $810,000.
Oh my Lord.
Your AI program's not right. It's the same as saying that Edmonton Elks are number 2 in the power rankings. Okay, you need a better AI program. Get rid of that Copilot and get Chat GPT. Okay.
I was using Microsoft. I apologize.
Fucking Bill Gates. Okay. Yeah, it's not. He's making 6.25, and he's only getting 450 is the salary cap hit. Okay.
You know, the major thing about the salary cap that's unusual compared to other leagues is the housing allowance that they allow. And then they've added a marketing allowance. And the marketing allowance cap is 250,000. But each team is required to spend 110. It wasn't until last year that anybody got that spent up to 110. It had not been done, and it's going to be enforced this year. And then when you look at, there's only one player in Vancouver that's going to get that marketing money, and that is Nathan Rourke.
Of course. But I mean,
I don't think that's true.
That's because no, I don't think so either. Because there's all the other guys
Nathan
that have
Rourke's only
done.
getting 175,000. There's still 75,000 out there. So, anyhow, beside the point, and my numbers might be off, but they're not off by as much as yours are. Let's just call it what it is.
I think my point here is that there's a lot of ways in which you can manipulate this cap, and it's a soft cap. And if teams want to choose to go over the salary cap, the punishment, the teams can just budget it into their books if they want to go over it.
100%. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not debating with you on that at all. There is no consequences. There's no penalty in so much at all. I mean, it's dollar for dollar until you get to 100,000, and then you start losing draft picks. BC Lions went over by 320,000 2 years ago, and ended up losing 2 draft picks and 340,000 or $680,000 or something. It's really not a big deal to the teams to go over the cap. That's not the point. The point is there's a cap in place, and you're not supposed to go over it. There shouldn't be a penalty. It should just be you don't do it.
Well, the only way in which you can regulate it is with a significant fine, correct?
No, you can. Well, the way you could regulate it is you could say, "Sorry, this puts you over the cap. Contract invalid."
Contract invalid.
So why doesn't the league do that?
Because the players probably don't want them to.
It's a negotiation tool in the CBA.
It's part of the CBA. And the players don't want that hard cap because it'll cost them money. And this has been fought with other players' associations in other leagues. Players do not want their teams to have a hard cap. And the reason is because they know these owners, they've got egos. And if the owner can go over the cap, even if he has to pay a fine, they'll do it to try and win. And that's what the players want because it makes the players more money.
I think the issue is that you take a look at the teams that are owned privately. That would be like Vancouver, Edmonton. Who else is owned privately?
Everybody but Saskatchewan and Winnipeg.
Everybody.
So those two teams, Edmonton or Saskatchewan, and who's the other one? Winnipeg. They're going to be at a disadvantage.
Oh, really?
Why? They're the ones making the money.
Why were they the 2 biggest spenders? Winnipeg was one of the biggest spending teams on maybe the biggest spending team in free agency. And they're community owned. They signed 9 players or something.
That your theory's wrong there, Michael. what you're going to find teams like Ottawa, who are owned by a small group of millionaires who don't have the money to throw at a team like that, where you've got people like the guy who owns the Alouettes, who's a billionaire, or the guy who owns Bob Young, who owns Hamilton Tiger Cats, who is a billionaire. And they just, okay, well, let's just throw money at this, because I got, the CFL salary cap of $5 million. They got that sitting on their night table. It's not a big deal to them. Okay. Where you find organizations like Calgary, who is owned by the Calgary Flames, and they're going to question, well, why are we dumping money into this football team? MLSE, who is not dumping any money into their football team. So the organizations that own teams are at a disadvantage to the ones that are owned by a single entity, like Amor Doman or Bob Young, or I don't remember the French guy's name in Montreal. Used to be Wentenall, but he's gone. He died.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Calgary, with the Flames organization, why would they not want to spend to put people into McMahon Stadium?
They don't care.
Because they don't care. Their priority is the Stampeders.
No, the Flames.
It's not the Stampeders, it's the Flames.
It's not the Stampeders, it's the Flames. Sorry.
Mike, they're building a $1 billion hockey arena here, okay? They don't care about the Stampeders. Sorry.
So, my question is, why do they own them?
At the time they bought them, I don't know why they bought them.
Well, obviously it was because nobody else wanted them. And
they had part of it.
Into.
And everybody I've talked to since they've bought the Stampeders, which has been a while now, they say they've turned it into a professional organization, as opposed to before it was kind of a mom and pop grassroots kind of thing. So
yeah, let's bounce the players' checks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what
it blows me away that you would regardless of whether you're a corporation or a billionaire, it blows me away that you would buy a team and not put the money into the team to make them successful for your community. Calgary's a wonderful market. Those are some of the most, for at least for the hockey that I've seen with the hockey fans, those guys are passionate and passionate about the
We're a hockey town, Mike.
They're a hockey town. So is Vancouver. So is Montreal. So is Toronto.
Forever, Mike.
It's a hockey country.
But
this country doesn't care about football.
Why isn't football thriving in Calgary or in Toronto?
Because it's not important.
It's the greatest.
Not important. It's hard. It's hard to understand football, whereas in the hockey is pretty freaking simple. Okay, let's face it. 5-10 guys on the ice, they chase a puck.
And again, look at the Leafs.
Why isn't field lacrosse more popular in Portland?
Because of the Portland Trailblazers and the Portland Timbers.
Okay, so why aren't the BC Lions more important in Vancouver? Because of the Vancouver Whitecaps and the Vancouver Canucks.
But you guys are going to be losing your Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yep.
No, the Whitecaps are staying. They've just been offered a killer deal for the stadium. That happened today.
That they already turned it down.
The new one?
Yes. Because the government of BC was going to give them all the concession and all the money from the stuff like that. They turned it down within 15 minutes.
That is crap. Really? Because that is a community that
they're saying it's not enough.
The Vancouver
that's a team they're trying to. That's a team that's trying to move. They don't want to stay for some reason. I don't know why, but that's what I get it from.
Yeah.
Not that I've never been to, or I've been to one.
Goodbye.
I have been.
Couldn't care less about soccer.
I have been to 100 MLS games between Portland and all the other teams, and the Cascadia Cup with Vancouver and Seattle matters in my town. We hate Vancouver. When Vancouver comes into our town, it's like religious hate. They're great
I'm
for
not
the
really big
league.
on Americans either, so
So
it's
no,
mutual.
but my point is, soccer has thrived in your community. But you're right.
It has.
This is a football show, so I'll shut up.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm sorry, guys.
This whole thing is about the salary cap, Michael.
I think the question is, and this is probably Will, is you're going to be my baseline. What do you think about teams going over the salary cap?
It happens to some teams. Some teams go over bigger than others. And it just goes to show you how important Canadian draft picks are to some teams. Not.
So prior to 2023,
Yep.
the salary cap had been violated 7 times in a 20 some odd year history. Okay. 4 of them were by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, including both of their last Grey Cup victories. Okay. So they had their Grey Cup victory has a little asterisk beside it because they cheated for that year. Okay. Now, but since then, in the last 2 years, 3 years, the salary cap has been violated by more times, by more teams than the previous 25 years. So it's been violated 10 times in the last 3 years.
Has that been because because the ownership has changed in the CFL, going away from the community base to the private?
No. Edmonton's the only team that went from community to private, and they don't really count anyhow. That's Edmonton. So it's got to do more with a total lack of respect for the salary cap, total lack of respect for the draft picks, total lack of respect for the penalties. There is no way in which you can enforce this. I just don't know why all of a sudden it's being circumvented so much. Do you know that there's actually a salary cap floor?
No.
Yep.
Teams have to spend a certain amount on players. And if you don't spend enough, then you get penalized. Okay. BC Lions used to get on the verge of being penalized. And what would happen just before the cutoff, Wally would have his numbers all done out and then start giving out bonuses. Okay. And he would bonus out his players so that he would raise the salary, his salary expenditures up enough that he doesn't get fined for being on the floor. He would never go to the maximum of the salary cap. John Hufnagel was the same. Okay. They just didn't do it. They built teams, they developed players, they brought them along, and they had depth. Now, it seems that the general managers have total lack of respect for the other general managers in the league, and they steal their development players. Nobody's developing quarterbacks right now. There's just nobody out there. There's no number 2s and number 3s that look good in this league. In reality, if you look at it, Hamilton Tiger Cats has signed Trey Ford as their number 2 quarterback. Hamilton's probably the best team in the league with a tier 2 quarterback. Nobody else has one.
Well, Edmonton's
Ottawa's
got
got a good one
Powell.
now.
We got Powell.
You got, well, who's your backup? You don't really have a
Cody.
number 1. You got 2 number 2s.
In your
I
opinion.
actually think their backup is going to be better than their starter.
Yeah,
No,
Taylor
God,
Powell's
no.
going to take the number 1 spot away from Cody.
No, he's
I have
not.
no doubt in that.
No,
That
You
would
have,
not-
you've never
Taylor
seen
took-
Taylor Powell play.
Taylor
You
took it away from
cannot
Bo.
tell me that.
That
You've
wouldn't
never
shock me
seen
in
him
the
play,
least.
Michael. And did Dustin Crum stay in Ottawa?
No, he went somewhere.
Went to Montreal.
Went to Montreal.
Yeah.
Montreal.
Went to Montreal. Okay. So Montreal obviously didn't sign McLeod Bethel Thompson again.
No,
Thank
he's still a
God.
free agent. No one will. I don't think.
Edmonton might.
DC might. DC needs a backup. So does
Everyone
We
needs
got
a
Chase
backup.
Bryce.
Everyone needs a backup.
That's not a good argument.
Winnipeg.
Oh,
Who's Winnipeg's backup?
Right now, nobody.
Chris Streveler.
Yeah.
He's out of the league, isn't he?
No,
I think
he's trying to come back.
finished.
He's a free
said he
agent. Actually, he's not. He's on the injury reserve list.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
can't release him until he's healthy enough to play.
He brought out a video saying that he's trying to mount this big comeback.
Good luck to him.
And Winnipeg will be stupid enough to do it.
No.
Okay, so one of the things that Michael's got here is a free agency winner so far. And you have number one is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I honestly believe it might be the Calgary Stampeders, because they're the ones that didn't jump into the idiocy of overpaying free agents. So yes, Winnipeg signed Jake Serezna, Jonathan Moxey, and Jarrell Broxton. It is Jarrell, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah.
When's the last time
Edmonton's got Malik Carney, Taylor Powell, Jordan Murray, and Brendan Brodner.
When's the last time you saw a team go crazy for free agents and have a really successful season?
Almost
Last
never
season.
happens.
Calgary
Right.
last year.
Not true. Kent Austin did it in Hamilton, although
Okay,
they
yeah.
were not capable of winning the Grey Cup.
It happens, but not frequently.
So I
Calgary
understand.
didn't-
I
The
understand.
Calgary
Mike,
didn't go crazy.
Mike
Hang on,
hasn't
Scott.
watched.
William.
I understand Mike hasn't watched the CFL for very long,
No.
but when he puts things like Ottawa Red Blacks at it, Jake Mayer giving them a legitimate quarterback competition. I'm sorry, Michael. You have never seen Jake Mayer play a full season. It's not very pretty, okay? That's all I'm going to say. He's not a legitimate QB contender. I'm sorry. Why do you think Scott is sitting there smiling because he didn't re-sign with Saskatchewan?
Because they got rid of him.
The Riders won free agency. We got rid of Mayer and Lowther.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
but
there's a valid argument there.
Yeah,
There's a
but they
good
picked up-
valid
they
argument
picked-
to that.
they picked
Mike.
up Revis. They picked up Baldonado, and Eberhardt is a pretty good player. Wouldn't you say so, CJ?
Eberhardt is a great player.
He's a good receiver. I don't
For the
doubt
money,
that.
he's good.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't think he's the type of guy that's irreplaceable. You can find another guy that can pretty much do what he did. Not saying he's a bad receiver.
that?
He's not. He's a good receiver. But I don't think that he's one of those receivers, one of those great receivers that's going to be a massive loss. I mean, you can bring in another guy that's going to get, I think, fairly close to his numbers, probably for less money than what he signed for.
He signed for $1.25, right?
Yeah, which isn't horrible.
Which isn't a horrible amount of money, but it's
No, I
it's
think
too
it's
much for him.
150. 150.
And Mike, the other part of this too is when you bring in so many new receivers or a new quarterback or whatever, these players all have to get used to each other and gel. And especially when you have new receivers, they have to learn how this quarterback throws the ball, the timing of it, and this. Winnipeg had a bunch of new receivers a couple of years ago and started 2-6 because the receivers just were not on the same page with Zach. So when you have that many new receivers, not
But
sure
I
you
still
win.
but I still think in the CFL, because the season is 18 games, I still think you can gel in time to be a
Yes.
contender.
Oh, they did that 2 years ago. But
Yeah, but I don't like to point out these things, Mike, but you said free agency losers. You said Hamilton lost because Jordan Murray, Brendan Bordner, and Taylor Powell, and you said they were all key contributors. Taylor Powell didn't see the field last year.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got on the field. Very little.
If he did, it
Okay,
was
so
short. No.
Bo Levi Mitchell played every single game last year. Taylor Powell did not see the field, except for the
correct.
possibility of short yardage.
Yeah.
So, and I would go out as far as saying that Taylor Powell right now is an unknown. We don't know how well he's going to do.
We saw him 3 years ago. He was exceptionally good, but we haven't seen him since that because
Small
Bo has
sample
come in and
size.
lit it up.
Yeah, and maybe he will come out and be great and surpass Cody Fajardo, which doesn't take much, but you never know.
So I don't see Hamilton Tiger Cats as losers in
I don't either.
free agency.
I don't either because
No.
they
I
did
do
sign
not.
everybody's crap, but everybody's crap. These are some good players that might be a little long in the tooth, but
Okay.
you never know.
And you've got Montreal as a loser in free agency because they lost Darnell Sankey. They didn't lose Darnell Sankey in free agency. They kicked him to the curb.
They released him.
Yeah.
They released him. So that's not a loss.
That's a
They
can't-
did
loss.
that willingly.
It's
They
because
did
they
that
didn't want
willingly.
to.
They chose not to.
They did not want to pay him.
Correct.
And they got Dustin Crum and
And that's their
Devontae
right.
Dedmon. I don't know. I think there's a net gain in there for Montreal because they really only lost James Fletcher Jr.
Well, no, there's
Not
a
even
net
that because
loss.
they let him go.
When you let Stanky, who had to go, who control
Stanky.
Stanky,
There's no
Stanky.
T.
Stanky.
When
You
you
can't
let
call him Stanky.
There
That's
was
like
a
our
Ben Stanky
girlfriend.
who played quarterback.
doing that.
Remember?
wouldn't you say that he controlled the defensive culture of that team?
Percent.
Yes.
Nobody's arguing with you with the power of that man on a football team. I'm
Mhm.
ecstatic that he's in BC. What I'm trying to say is Montreal released him. Whether it was
Willingly.
contract, whether it was locker room, whether it was personality, doesn't matter. Montreal let him go. And if you're saying that they also let Letcher go too, then so be it. They didn't lose anything at free agency because that's what they were going to do anyhow.
When you refuse to pay a player, you're losing him to free agency.
No.
But
Yeah,
you're
you
losing
are.
him You're losing him willingly. It's the same as if you release him and he retires.
I actually think Dustin Crum is a good addition to Montreal because
I
now
do
I think
too.
they have a legitimate backup quarterback who can run and throw the ball as much as what's his face? Can't remember his
Especially
name.
since Davis Alexander missed half
Alexander.
of last year.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And
Right?
you have Jason Moss in Montreal, and I think he's a good quarterback coach as well. So
He's maturing nicely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, and I'll say this from the beginning to the end, I don't think free agency is really all that relevant.
Until you get into the game, into the season, and see how these people gel.
Sometimes the team just
Calgary
doesn't
signed
gel. That's
one
true.
guy, or did you sign two guys?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't pay
Calgary
attention.
Doesn't
signed
matter.
two.
One or two guys. We don't know until Dave brings his free agent signings from out of the States to training camp. Until we get to training camp and we see what those players are doing, you might have a ton of kids that are better than any of these signings that you've done. You might kick half these guys that you've signed in free agency to the curb by cut down day.
So far this season, like in the off season, Calgary has added 18 players to their roster that I don't know who they are. So if you find
BC's
one or
done
two
the same.
players,
They signed 9 guys the other day.
if you find one or two players out of those guys, you never know, right? Because players had to come from somewhere originally.
So where do you guys get your players from? Because clearly it's not the CFL draft. Where do you get
No,
your
it's
players?
NCAA,
It's NCAA.
UFL.
So then it's open
Free agent
season, right?
signings.
Yeah.
100% it is. That's why we have scouts.
Yeah.
That's where we get our players is people who
John-
don't
John-
make the NFL roster.
John Huffnagel's son is still the head American scout in Calgary. So I'm sure he has a whole bunch of contacts.
So when you take a look at what the commissioner was looking at, and I'm not a fan of the commissioner, but he was looking at why don't we have a draft of American players so that we can
That's-
just
It's a moot
How,
point.
how does that make sense?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
so
Because,
basically
first off, Michael, hang on. You're an American and you don't know much about the CFL, and I'm not picking on you in any way, shape, or form. But do you know how many American players there are that graduate from NCAA? How many of them come up to the CFL? Most of them don't want to come to Canada. So you're going to draft 28 players, and 27 of them are going to tell you to fuck off and die. So you're going to end up with one guy that comes up to the CFL. So you're better off to scout these guys down there and sign contracts with them down there saying, hey, look, do you want to come to training camp? Do you want to come to training camp? Do you want to come to it? The draft doesn't work.
That's why all these teams have free agent camps down in the States during the off season.
Yep.
I didn't know that they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the teams.
shit.
They'll go
The
down to
Lions-
All
Florida.
teams have
Lions
like
and all
8
of
of them.
The Lions have at least half a dozen down there every year.
Yeah.
Seattle,
They go
Dallas,
different-
Los Angeles, they go down there all the time.
They go to different places. They sign up. They come. They try out. They do their thing. Coaches look at them and go, "Okay."
We like you, and you.
So
Yeah.
how many of the average CFL fans that we communicate with know that? I didn't know that.
But you're not an average CFL fan.
Probably a lot of, well, because they post all of these on their website, they post them on their social media pages
Yeah,
and so
but
on.
I-
So
I also tend to wonder how many people pay attention to these things at all.
How
in
many
the
people
off-season.
care?
People
in the
just-
off season, not that many.
How many people don't have a life like us and pay attention to CFL football?
People
Okay?
just know.
I'm just
people
saying.
ju- people
I have a
just
life.
know
I don't
that
what the
players.
fuck you're talking about.
People just know that players were signed, but they don't pay attention to why or from
Oh, yeah.
what
Or
reason.
how
Oh,
or
there's
what
there's
or
the people.
whatever. No,
Once the Grey Cup hits, they don't pay attention to CFL till June.
no.
What difference
it-
does it matter where the player came from as long as when they're on the field, they're doing good?
Yeah.
And that's
It
the
doesn't.
philosophy of the majority of CFL fans because we don't have fanatics here. You know how in baseball, you've got fans that are in the stands with a little clipboard and they're writing down shit?
Yeah, you got to do that in baseball, though. You got to do that
Oh,
in
yeah.
baseball.
You
They do
don't
their
do
own
that in
scouting.
football.
No.
We don't care. You know, I honestly, and I'm unique in this group of 5 here. I care less about the players and more about the rules. I really don't care who the football player is because he's not going to be here in 5 years anyhow. There's not a player on your team right now that's going to be there in 10 years.
Yeah, but there's a player that's going to be on the roster this year that can or will make a difference or not. And that's why I care
Doesn't
about
matter
the
to me.
players.
Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I don't care who the players are. I really don't. I just want to see my team go out there and play football.
And when I was looking at this free agent period, I was specifically looking, are we going to improve our offensive line and are we going to add some secondary depth to Edmonton? That's what I cared about.
And Sparky does the same thing. Charles is really good at knowing who the players were 28 years ago on did this, did that, and did that. They don't mean anything to me. I know who the general managers were and the coaches and the owners, and I like the business side of football. So not all fans are the same. Some of us are fucking weird. It's a true story.
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Some of us are fucking weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
but don't you think that each of us love our teams and we want to root for our teams? Like Will with Calgary, doesn't he want Calgary to win? Doesn't he want you follow them in free agency? You do to a certain degree because you want your team to win and be better.
I follow them all year. I follow them all year around, Mike. They are my team. I'm interested in what they do. Would I like them to win every year? Absolutely, I'd like them to win every year. Is it going to happen? No, it's not. But I sit next to a guy at Stampeders games, and if they lose, the more they start to lose, the more he drinks.
Oh God.
And if they're getting shit kicked, so the guy sits next to me, there's him and his nephew, and his nephew is in his 30s, but he'll look at his uncle and say, "Uncle, they're not coming back. You better leave because you're going to get in trouble." Because the guy's so drunk, it's not funny, and he'll start fights. I'm not that guy, Mike. It doesn't matter if they lose, they lose. I don't lose my shit, okay? It's not that important to me. But on the other hand, this guy is 50 years old and he still lives in mom and dad's basement. So can't say any more than that.
So if you look at the BC Lions, because they are my team, right? I'm wearing a BC Lions jersey right now. See, like there it is. So
08 beer meat.
0.08.
Yep.
And yes, it does say beer me on the back.
Yep.
Okay. So BC Lions historically are losers. Okay. Since I started watching the BC Lions, I don't know if they've had 10 winning seasons. It's not been pretty. Why am I a fan?
Because you live
Because
near
I like
the team.
football. I like to watch my team play football. Do I care if they win or lose? No. Do I get upset? Am I emotionally involved in it? No. It's funny. BC Lions get beat by Winnipeg, and I get a plethora of messages from Winnipeg Blue Bomber fans that are just, we beat you again. I don't care. We got to watch a football game.
I do.
I do care. Yeah.
Go ahead.
There are so many people out there that when their team loses a game, they get so annoyed, they get so angry and stuff like that. Am I one of these people? Of course I am. But anyways, no, I'm not like CJ. If the Lions lose, I do get pissed. I mean, not like I don't break stuff and I don't start fights, but I do get upset.
I get upset if they should have won.
Yeah.
Okay. If they do something dumb and they lost the game because of something dumb, then I kind of get upset. But if they're getting beat, they're getting beat. What can you do about it?
Okay, well, go.
It's official. I am not ever coming back on this podcast again because I've heard something that I've been waiting for 10 years. CJ called the BC Lions losers. My life is complete.
I'm not wrong.
Nothing else matters there.
This Absolutely man does not represent us.
I've been waiting for that forever. Sorry.
Going to go out on top.
Absolutely.
Like, seriously. I mean, I remember games where season after season after season where we're lucky to get 3 wins.
Yep.
Yeah, but I can't.
Why do you stay a fan?
I can't be a fan and not be emotionally involved. When Edmonton loses, it hurts. It hurts.
You better switch your team then, buddy.
You need to pick a better team.
Yeah.
I can't.
I base things on money, Mike. If my team loses, do I lose money? No. If my team wins, do I win money? No.
No, I never bet on my football team.
I'm not emotionally involved. If I go and watch the game and the Stampeders play well and they execute well, it's kind of exciting. If they don't play well, then you can't expect to win.
Yeah. Actually, when Will and I first met, and this has got to be 11 years ago, 10 and a half, 11 years ago. Do you remember this, William? You asked me to bet on the team.
Yes, and you said you
wanted to bet on a game between Calgary and BC because we were fighting back and forth, being very vicious with each other. And he says, "You want to put $20 on that?" And what was my answer, William?
Can't even remember because you don't bet on anything.
I don't bet on football games. It's against my religion.
But you're not religious.
100% I'm not religious. Okay. I just don't bet on football. I don't bet on things that I can't control.
And I don't either, because you have no control over these things.
You have no control.
No,
I don't even know if they're rigged or not.
I do bet on Canadian Football League games.
Oh,
I do.
Lord.
I did pretty well last year.
You can't be betting for Edmonton then.
But I do not bet on Edmonton. I do not bet on Edmonton games.
Okay, that's a good thing.
I
The
don't.
last guy I want, the last guy I want controlling the amount of money in my bank account is Cody Fajardo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not gonna happen.
No,
Okay.
I have a rule that I cannot emotionally. I will never bet on the Portland Trailblazers, the Edmonton Elks, and the Los Angeles Rams. I will never bet on those teams.
Well, that's
Probably
a good
good
thing
because
you
they
didn't.
Probably a good thing. In
That's
this.
a good thing because
you
none of them
didn't
have
bet
won
on those
anything for a
loser
while.
Rams, eh, Mike? It's a good thing you didn't bet on those loser Rams this year and the world's greatest quarterback in your mind,
I think he is the world's greatest
because
quarterback.
they're not in the Super Bowl.
Cody
Sorry.
Fajardo?
No,
Yeah, he's in the NFL now.
Matthew Stafford.
Who?
I think Matthew Stafford is older than me and you. Okay.
Yeah, he's up there.
That's
He's
Aaron
up there.
Rodgers.
He is up there.
Well, they
What
do
is
use
he,
the
Mike,
Fahrenheit scale, so
43?
it might be off.
He's 37.
Siri, how
Oh,
old
he's
is
a
Matthew Stafford?
youngin compared to like Harris and Caleros and Mitchell.
Yeah, he's 37. But he plays like he's 46. Just saying.
Yeah, but he was the league MVP.
Yippee. You're
I
giving
think
me
he-
stats
How well
again,
did that
Mike.
work out for him?
We
lost.
for a championship.
We got
He's won
at
one.
least we got one Super Bowl out of him.
Yes, he did.
That's true.
You could never take that away from me.
No, but we can laugh at him.
And I'm going to be laughing when Edmonton's playing in the Grey Cup.
That should be 2036, maybe.
Will you still have teeth?
It'll be the first year after Cody leaves.
Oh God. I'm going to enjoy watching the Grey Cup with you guys.
We have fun. If nothing else, we have fun.
Hey, Mike, have you ever watched a football game in minus 30-degree weather?
Oh,
Never.
It's not fun, Mike. Sorry.
I'm already
Yeah.
gathering my warm clothes.
Does it get that cold in Calgary?
oh,
Yes.
It depends.
Mike.
It can, depending on, it can be up and down. You never know what it's going to do in Calgary.
It will get to that temperature anywhere in Canada except Vancouver.
Pretty much.
Mike, 2 weeks ago in Regina, we were at minus 50.
Oh God. I would never live there. That's too cold.
Hey, Mike, not many people live in Regina.
That's not true. We got like 350.
Are you over 300? Are you over 300? Really?
Because of all the Indians.
I
don't think you can say that. You're not allowed to say that.
As soon as I said, I was like, "Oh shoot, we're on air."
Just for reference sake, Michael, Abbotsford almost has 200 people. 200,000.
Well, Portland metropolitan area has 2.3 million. So
that's like Vancouver.
And it was 60 degrees and sunny today. It was wonderful.
It's like that in Vancouver. Only it was more like 18 degrees.
We got up to plus 5 today.
I don't understand that Celsius stuff that you guys
Well,
use.
according to the actual information, Scott, you're at about 290.
Oh.
So as of 225. So
if you want a really quick reference, Michael, double it and add 32. And that'll get you really close.
Yeah.
So it was about 15 degrees in Abbotsford today. So double it, that's 30. Add 30, be 62 degrees.
It was nice in Abbotsford today.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow.
Back to football.
Yes.
Oh, are we going to talk football? Shit, I didn't know that. The fuck for?
Preferably.
All I can say, Mike, is if you're coming to Calgary to watch a football game in November, buy a toque, buddy.
Buy a toque. Buy a toque.
Buy a toque.
And some. Okay, we had a prime minister at one time. His name was Robert Stanfield. He wasn't a very good prime minister, but he made really good long underwear. Okay.
I was gonna say, this is talking football. We had a prime minister.
Long underwear for the Grey Cup game.
Well, that's true.
So when you take
warmers, feet warm.
So when you take a look, at what has happened with the league, with free agency, with the re-signings of all the teams, does anybody does not believe that BC is still the best team in the league going into this season? The pressure is going to be on them more so than Saskatchewan.
What did you say, Charles?
I said will probably say yes. He doesn't believe the Lions are the best team. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The Lions are the best team on paper, but they still have to play the season. They still have to play the season.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
So what is the major deficiency that Vancouver has? Could it be coaching at the defensive end? Defensive side of the ball?
Who?
Vancouver or BC? Do you worry about the coaching that BC's defensive coach has based on what they did last year?
I've seen Mike Benavides be one of the best defensive football coaches in the league. I've also seen him be one of the worst.
Yeah.
So which Mike is going to show up? Has the game passed him by? Is he now too old to be playing this with this philosophy? Because he used to be the fucking best defensive coordinator in the league, bar none. And now last year he was not so good. And Ryan Phillips, I liked Ryan Phillips. I think he was very good. But the team didn't perform for him. And I'm not totally sure why. Do we need somebody better in there? Yeah, maybe. I was kind of hoping Chris Jones was coming over, but he didn't. That didn't happen. So, I don't know. Am I okay with our defensive coaches? I don't know. Charles, what's your thoughts?
I'm surprised Benavides is coming back. He had a poor year. No, to be fair, the Lions defense did improve as the season went along. And I thought actually by the end of the season, they were playing quite well. They've got to have a better start this year than they had last year. If they don't, they might change mid-season because, I mean, they've got Darnell Sankey now. We all agree he's a difference maker on defense. So automatically that should help make that defense better. They've got to get off to a quicker start. They were horrible, horrendous in the early part of last season. And if they had been,
sorry, Charles.
No, I'm just saying if they had played the same way in the early part of the season than they did in the latter part of the season, they would have run away with the Western Division last year. But they didn't. They were horrid in the first part of the season. They've got to get off to a better start. If they don't get off to a better start, they will make a change mid-season. I believe that.
Okay, so last season we didn't have TJ Lee until the last third of the season. Correct. The defense got a lot better when they got somebody in the locker room that knew how to run the defense like that.
And he's a stabilizing fourth.
TJ Lee is returning, and so is Darnell Sankey, who I believe was the driving force in Montreal's defense that won them a Grey Cup with that pathetic quarterback, Cody Fajardo. So I'm not as hesitant with the defense of BC this year. I think the coaching staff might be mediocre, but I think the leadership in the locker room has greatly improved. And
no doubt. No doubt.
okay, so I won't know whether or not their defense is going to be amazing this year until they get on the field.
Right.
I just
We-
hope them
We
to
don't
be
know
better
that
than
about
average.
anybody.
Well, of course. I just hope they're better than average because they're definitely going to be an elite offense. So as long
Yeah.
as the defense can keep some points off the board, the offense should be able to walk away. And that's the philosophy that they had last year. And the opposite philosophy to a Chris Jones type of team, where he says defenses stop them, shut them out, and then the offense, all they have to do is score a couple points, right? So I would rather see a wide open offense ripping down the field and defense at least making a stop. But this prevent D late in the game has got to end. Has got to end.
Yeah.
I
And
can't.
so early
I
in the
can't
game.
watch.
That almost never works. The offenses have figured out how to beat that defense.
So what about you, Scott? What about Saskatchewan? Do you think that they have a chance at repeating?
Nope. Not one bit.
And why is that?
Only for the simple fact of repeating is very difficult to do. And when you win a championship, quite often you get really key players taken away. Now they may have guys that can play those positions and do well at it. But I think from what I've seen so far, I don't think Saskatchewan has done enough to compete, yes, but win the Grey Cup over somebody else, no.
And my thought on this, I followed the league for a very long time, as we all have, except Michael. Trevor Harris hasn't had 2 good years in a row. Last year, he literally was not injured at all. That's the odds are against him finishing the season.
Yep.
And at 40
I
years
agree with
old.
that.
So
Especially
why
at that-
was-
yeah, I was gonna say, especially at that age.
We said it last year, and weirdly enough, we were all wrong.
We were.
2 years in a row. I'm kind of with CJ on this one. I'd be very shocked if he doesn't get some sort of injury that takes him out for, 1 or 2 games, whatever. 4, 5, 6 games, that hurts you.
An extended period of time, especially when you don't have a backup.
Yeah.
So what is the game plan in Hamilton with everything? They've lost 9 players, I think, to date.
They'll
Who
replace
cares?
them.
So you got Malik Carney, right, Mike? What
Yeah.
did the Riders do before Malik Carney? What did they do before all these other, they played football? These players come and they go. Somebody steps up. There's that
When it
next man
comes-
up mentality.
Yeah,
When
I
it
was gonna
comes
say
to
next man up.
week
Will
one,
says that all the time.
every team will have 42 men on their roster or 45 men on their roster. Every team.
If you look at the Riders last season, their offensive line got smashed up and injured and hurt. The next man up just performed. It's a lot to do with coaching. It's a lot to do with the talent. It's a lot putting your players in the best possible position.
And O-line injuries are the worst.
Yeah.
Short of the quarterback, because the majority of teams have O-lines that are Canadian. So when you have starting Canadians go down, the drop off in talent to your tier 2, tier 3 players is astronomical.
Yeah.
So if you got to continue with the ratio, which they do, then the O-line becomes very porous.
They start looking at the stands saying, who wants to come play O-line for the game?
Well, the question mark.
If you looked last year, we actually had Micah Johnson on defensive line, had to throw on another jersey and play offensive line because we just didn't have a person to do it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, luckily, it worked out, but the offensive line also is the key part too, because they're the one moving, telling everyone where to go and which way to go and everything like that. That's why offensive line doesn't get as tired as defensive line, because they're going somewhere specific.
It's important. The most
look-
important player on the team is the quarterback. Who's the number 2? Who's the second most important player on the football field?
Kicker.
No, offensive line.
Offensive line.
Left tackle.
The blind side, left tackle.
Left tackle. If you've got a right-handed throwing quarterback, if it's left-handed, then it's going to be the right tackle.
Yeah.
But your offensive line is so important, and yet that's where we throw our fucking Canadian starters. It makes no sense, this ratio. It just absolutely makes no sense.
Well, I take a look at the Hamilton team, and with all the players that they've lost, and then you consider the thing with how much money they're paying Bo Levi Mitchell. Why would you, if you're going to go to a complete
You're not
rebuild?
getting much.
Well, he's probably getting 400,000, 500,000.
Okay.
That's
It's not much.
normal.
It's he is not the highest paid quarterback in the league. I don't even think he's in the top 3. So in comparison to other teams, he's not being paid too much.
He's like a 12-year starter, Mike, and he's been successful in most of those 12 years.
Wouldn't he be
So-
better? Wouldn't he be better off at a team like Calgary?
Why?
He was in Calgary for 10 years.
He won 2 Grey Cups in Calgary, Mike, and lost 2.
So, Mike, Mitchell earned $374,800 in 2025.
Wow.
And he
Hey,
was the
Mikey.
number 1 throwing quarterback in 2025. Number
Now,
1.
mind you,
Go ahead.
there was probably playtime incentives in that, but that was hard money.
Yeah.
Which, if you play well, you deserve to get paid.
Agreed. 100%.
And I think the majority of quarterbacks' salary should be based on incentives.
I think quarterbacks should have a base salary straight across the board of $300,000. Every quarterback in the league. And then you give them incentives from there.
I'd be all right with that.
And then quarterbacks that perform make good money. Quarterbacks who do not perform
Don't
don't.
make money.
Yeah, but quarterbacks perform based on the offensive line that they have protecting them, and how good their wide receivers are as
Right.
well.
So when Bo Levi Mitchell and Mike Riley signed contracts with their teams for $750,000, okay, then the teams couldn't afford their O-line, okay, and Bo Levi Mitchell renegotiated his contract to be respectable at $500,000, and Mike Riley said no. And that season, Mike Riley was looking at the stars with his back on the grass more than any other quarterback in
the
CFL
history of the CFL.
history.
That was a bad season.
History.
It was
Okay.
ridiculous, just the amount of times he got hit.
I am shocked that he made it through 15 games
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
before
That
he
was a lot
got
of
hurt.
ice baths.
A lot of ice packs, ice baths.
Yep.
Toughest
Hey,
SOB I ever
just-
seen.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Just so you know, Mike, I sent those pictures just for you. The first picture is the last Grey Cup in Calgary. Notice my headgear. Okay.
Mhm.
And I had a car full of clothes as well. And it was cold. The second
Who's
picture
that
is me
standing
and
with you? Do you know?
my buddy Daryl, my best friend from Winnipeg.
Okay.
And the second picture is me and Ricky in
Yeah.
BC Place at the
yeah,
at the
That
with
last
was
your
2
shorts
years
on.
ago.
Grey Cup. And then the third picture is me and my buddy Daryl outside of BC Place, so you can tell the difference in the weather. Because all I had was a pullover and I didn't have to wear a hat that day. So, anyways, that's what those pictures were all about. So dress warm, Mike, if you're coming.
It'll be chilly.
It'll be chilly.
Man,
I do have extra clothes, but you'd probably have to cut 6 inches off the legs. So Because you don't look overly
Just roll
tall.
them
How
up.
tall are you, Mike? How tall are you, Mike?
6 feet.
Oh, yeah, okay. Only have to cut 2
Taller
or
than I
3
thought.
inches.
I literally
I think I'm the little guy in the group.
I literally bought my wife a winter coat specifically with the Grey Cup next year in mind.
Well, you're taking her to Calgary?
Yeah, she'd come to Calgary too.
Okay, there you go.
Well, hopefully one of our teams will be in the Grey Cup.
Well, Edmonton, Saskatchewan,
Winnipeg's
nice
the only
shot.
team that's not represented on the panel.
What?
What's that?
Pardon me?
Mike
Well, we
said,
got
hopefully one of our teams is represented in the Grey Cup. And I said, well, we got the Western Division pretty much wrapped up except for Winnipeg here.
That's true.
Well, we got
Winnipeg's
a
not.
3-9. We have a 3-9 chance.
Well, Winnipeg's not going to make it.
No, we got a
4 and
4 or
9.
5.
Well, 4
No,
out of
'cause
5
yeah,
really, because it's
The fourth one would be Edmonton.
So I tell you what, Mike, if Edmonton
Well, they're not
doesn't
going to be
make
there.
it,
Okay,
No,
so
if Edmonton doesn't make
3 or
it,
5.
if Edmonton doesn't make it, Grey Cup weekend, you can fly to Edmonton and sit in Commonwealth by yourself. The ticket will probably be really cheap.
Just
They'll
bring
wave you
bolt
down.
cutters
They'll
for the
wave you
game.
down and say, "Come on in."
And maybe, if that happens, I may have to invite my friend Dee from our blog who loves to criticize me all the time. And she yells at me for how can an Oregonian know what Edmontonians think?
Oh, you're talking about D. Smith?
Yes,
She's got a point.
That's a troll.
Yeah.
she hates me.
Mhm.
She hates everybody.
She hates
She
every. If
doesn't
you speak,
like
she
many.
hates you. She just trolls the site.
She just trolled. Don't worry about it.
There's a lot of them that do that. If you
I-
go
I-
to,
I was unsure whether it's male or female. I don't know what the
I
pronoun
thought it was
is.
male, but
I
maybe
thought
I'm
it was a
wrong.
guy too.
She told me to fuck off a couple days ago, and I wrote back to her in a very explicit way, very nice, very casual, and I said, and by the way, did you notice I told you off without one swear word?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh well.
It's funny if you go on there. CJ, I'd originally done it. CJ did it better. He put in a thing of, do you want the ratio to come or go? Overwhelmingly, people are saying keep it, keep it, keep it. So when you ask them, well, why? Not one person can defend it. Not one.
No, it's because it's an emotional response.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is
There is no logical reason to keep the CFL ratio. None. Zero. Doesn't exist.
No.
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for somebody to give me one logical reason, and they can't, because they give me reasons like, oh well, then the youth sports football programs will die. Well, why would they die? Volleyball is doing really well in youth sports. Where's the professional volleyball league? What about the badminton league? The intramural games are still there. They're still supported by youth sports.
Teams will want to
Football's
sign
not going to go
Canadians where
away
they
if there's
can.
no place for them to go. And yet the football stars are still going to make it in the CFL because Brady Oliveira still made it into the CFL.
If you're talented, you'll make it.
Trey Ford is in the CFL.
Right.
Yeah. You're just not
Canadians
bound to...
will always be here.
Yeah. Then Edmonton could have a quality old line.
Edmonton's improved.
Have they?
Yes, they have.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. The only thing that you have going for you is you're not going to be 0-5 this year. Do you know why?
Because of the World Cup.
No. Your first 5 games, 2 of them are against Ottawa. You got at least split with them.
You would hope.
You would hope.
Well, the team that's going to be the worst in the league next year is going to be Toronto.
Well, you don't know that.
It depends.
Kelly's coming back.
Yeah. He's not a horrible quarterback.
He's not a terrible quarterback. I just can't stand him.
You also have
I agree with Mike. They're going to suck.
you also have Huff in there who has a whole bunch of players that he probably is going to bring in from
And
wherever.
whole lot of
you know,
experience.
for how much we hate him, Jim Barker's there too.
Yep.
They got talent around those players.
Yep.
That organization is coming together.
Toronto?
Yeah.
We'll see.
The
We'll
best
see.
part,
100%.
Mike,
We don't know.
the best part about the CFL that we've never talked to you about is any team can win the Grey Cup, and it doesn't matter what they were like the year before.
Yeah.
Because players
Sometimes it doesn't-
move, things happen, and yeah.
Sometimes it
Montreal.
doesn't matter how they are the first half of the season.
That is correct.
Montreal in 2023 is a prime example of that because in 2022, they lost their owner, they lost their coach, they lost half their team, they lost everything. Okay? They went into free agency without an owner, without a budget. They weren't allowed to spend any money. So they couldn't
they were
sign a
being run
single
by the
free
league.
agent.
Yep.
Okay. They were owned by the league, yes. And then they ended up with bringing in Jason Moss, Danny Machocha, found everybody in the league had all of their free agents all signed up. Everybody was signed up. They still didn't have a quarterback. So they went scraping through the dregs out of the garbage can of the back alley and found Cody Fajardo and brought him
Oh,
into
come
Montreal.
on.
Mike,
Hold
Scott,
on.
am I wrong?
Not at all.
Nobody
No,
else
That's
wanted
exactly
them
what
at that
happened.
point.
They did not. No team wanted Fajardo. It was late in the season. It was after free agency. Cody didn't have a team, wasn't going to get a team, and Montreal still hadn't found a quarterback. So that's where they went. Okay. But
And-
Machocha built a defense.
Who won the championship?
And
Who won?
after the USFL season, they signed Darnell Sankey.
Yeah.
And they won the Grey Cup that year, Mike.
And the rest is history because of Sankey went in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He won the USFL, then he went and won in the
seriously?
CFL.
Yeah, he won the championship in 2 leagues in the same year.
Yep. Yep.
I'm not
And
shitting you,
collected
Michael.
a
It's
$1.45
really what happened.
paycheck.
Okay.
Can you
They didn't
explain-
have an owner. They didn't have a budget. They weren't allowed to sign players. It was like everybody on the panel, every single person on that I know picked Montreal to finish last.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody. And yet they won the Grey Cup.
Yep.
So
Nobody
why
saw
is-
that coming.
So why,
Nobody
why-
saw that coming.
Who was the MOP of that Grey Cup?
Nobody. We don't have MOPs at Grey Cups.
Our
It
MVP.
was the Montreal defense.
It was the Montreal defense, but they couldn't give the award to the defense, so they had to give it to somebody on the offense, and it should have gone to the Philpott because he's the one that made the amazing catches on those shitty errant passes from Cody Fajardo.
But who got the MVP?
Well, Cody did, but
And-
whether he should or
and
not,
Bill-
who knows?
So did Marcus
Bob
Crandall.
Belichick or what? Bill Belichick, he's in the Hall of Fame too, right? Okay, we have no faith in award programs, none, zero, none.
How did if Cody Fajardo is this bad, how's he stayed in the league this long?
Because CFL has no quarterbacks.
There's nobody else.
Shit is better
You
than
said before
horrible
that
shit.
Cody is the best that Edmonton can get. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing, not disputing that. Okay. He's just not better than the other 8.
He's the classic example of a game manager.
No, I don't even call him that good.
No, he could be. I don't have a problem calling him a game manager. Do I think he's a spectacular quarterback? No. And he showed with Montreal, if they a team with a stellar defense, he can win a championship because he can get them enough points to win.
You
Just
know,
enough
you know
points.
what?
But
With a guy like Cody, I think Cody does have talent. He could run the ball, he can throw
Yeah.
the ball, but he's just not that sharp.
He's not smart. No.
Mm.
Who would you rather have?
Let's get off of Cody Fajardo. Who cares?
Please.
Charles, who would you rather have, Kevin Glenn or Cody Fajardo?
Kevin Glenn.
Probably Kevin Glenn.
No comparison.
And
There isn't
every
one.
other team in grade 2, because he played for every team practically. I think he was property of every team at one point. The
If
only
you ever
player in the
wanna
CFL
see-
to do that. But
If you ever want to see the true Cody Fajardo, watch the BC
fair
Edmonton
enough.
game.
yeah, well,
I'm not
okay,
watching
whichever.
that game again.
Well,
You
Don't
know,
worry
Mike,
about
I
it.
should,
We'll have a bunch
Mike,
more this
I
year
why
to
did
should
watch
we
be,
get
just
to
the same.
this?
I should
What?
be your personal hero, Mike, because I was in the same room. I was in the same room as Cody Fajardo in 2018. What do you think of that?
Again, I did not
had
bring up.
convers-
I
I've had
did not bring up.
conversations
I
with-
did not bring up Cody Fajardo. I have
Right,
kept my
so we're
mouth.
gonna drop it right now.
Yep.
I think.
I agree.
Are we done?
Agreed.
It's over.
I have
Are
to
we
go.
going to call it a show?
I'd like
Yeah.
Fair
to.
enough.
Yep.
Okay. This has been Let's Talk CFL podcast number 636. I've been your host, Christopher Jones. I appreciate everybody watching the show and putting up with this organized havoc. And we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully there's something to talk about. If not, well, maybe we'll see you the week after that. Let's see what goes on. Okay, Michael, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody, and tell your friends about this podcast. We'd like to grow our numbers. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Scott?
Have a good night, everyone, and have a great week.
Take care. Charles?
Good night, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week, probably.
And to William.
Good night, everybody. Maybe watch that other league this weekend. I'm not expecting
No,
much, but
I don't think so. I'll find
I'm
something
not
else to do
expecting
on
much,
Sunday. Maybe I'll go.
but who is
catch
it? Who's
some
the halftime
frogs.
show? Dirty Bunny or whatever the crap his name is?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Tune
It's the
into
last
that
football
All American show with Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.